Give it a minute. We're not starting just yet. Hold on. Jeez. You act like you want us to start right away. Okay, like everything just lines up and you're ready for entertainment and content. If that were the case, you wouldn't be here. So, obviously, getting everything rocking and rolling. Hopefully you're having a great day today. Hopefully you already have your coffee. You're not waiting in line somewhere to get it and, going through and just hanging out in the Starbucks drive-through line on your way to work or sleeping, whatever. It doesn't matter. What does matter is that we've got a show for you today. And you might be saying, we wish you didn't, but we do, because we get to, once again, do whatever we want. We paid our bill to the internet company this month, so there you go. Anyhow, let's kick it off. Let's get it rocking and rolling. Let's talk ratings. Now, there are a lot of different ways that you can approach the topic of ratings in things, okay? Was a game rated for content? Or was it rated upon release, the different scores and things of that nature that were attributed to it and given to it by a select group of either professional game reviewers, such as in the case of ourselves. Okay, so not that professional, but there are other ones that are actually paid by media outlets and things of that nature to review games and titles and everything like that. So, whether you're looking for the ratings of a game that it got, is it rated E for everyone, T for teen, AO for adults only, okay? We got you covered. And by we got you covered, we're only going to cover the stuff that we talk about. So if you're looking for specific stuff, you'll have to interact with, the internet celebrity that we are. Yes, the worst one that there is, but we can still answer all ones of your questions that may or may not roll in or through. Let's take a gander and see how fast these chats aren't coming in. Excellent. Yes, well, it looks like we have to pad this one out on our own, but that's okay. We're up for the challenge. We understand you're waking up. You don't want to necessarily jump right in and be like, I'm a keyboard warrior in the morning. Okay, we get it. Get your coffee. We'll float the show, okay? Were you in special education? Well, I don't know. What classes are those? I don't think so, but we did take PE. That's physical education. That's PE. But you never know. We like to think all education is special because when it comes down to it, as long as you're learning, then, you go from there. But, thank you. Yes, we love all of our Dollar Tree stuff. Mainly, though, believe it or not, a lot of this stuff isn't even full price regular stuff. Okay, even the spray paint that we get is on clearance, okay? If we were paying full price for shit, we would probably have a good show. But you're here, so nope, clearance and dollar store all the way. But thank you. Yes, I see from Eddie Funhouse streams. I'm not sure who Eddie Funhouse is, but surely their streams are much better than ours. So, they must be taking the day off or the morning off. But surely their content far surpasses anything that you're going to get here. Yeah, I regret clicking on this one. Well, live and learn. Anyhow, you talk so good you could sell bottled water to a drowning man. Well, the funny thing is that we don't sell it by the bottle. We sell it by the gallon. These motherfuckers that are out there swimming in the ocean for free, okay? Acting like they can't buy a whole gallon of water and like, no, I just want one little bottle. Fuck that. We're going for the top. We want to sell the whole case of water. We're drowning. No, fucking stop. Okay. Oh, throw them a lifeline. We're wrong. Dump the water out into the water on top of them and give them the bottles. They'll float. That's why we want to sell the gallon. Because yes, it might drag you down initially, but once you clear out all the crap, when does that happen? Well, I don't know. Maybe in a couple of years. But once you wade through all of that, it actually kind of floats you to the top. But keep in mind, this is the, like, ground level of shitty internet celebrity, okay? We call dibs. Everything else is better, okay? We're the ground floor. We're the worst. But we get the title of internet celebrity. So it's a win-lose for us, but it's a win-win because, you know, still a celebrity. Everyone wants to be one of those. That's why everyone has a channel. Thank you. Yes, this is, I believe, the first time that we've worn this one on Chatty Coffee Crew. We're not so happy with how we tied it. See, we're kind of uneven on it, but we're rushing to get here. Okay, for all ones of our fans that we were like, we're not fixing that shit now. Too late. And our mom had already left for work, so she couldn't retie it for us. Anyhow, Irish cream spittin' knowledge pimp facts. Well, yeah, let's lay into that. Let's pimp these fucking titles out that they keep pimping out to us with ratings on them. Okay, so you have games that have come out in the recent past that float ratings on them that make you think, hey, maybe that's a good game, maybe that's a good play. But they're given titles and ratings such as M for mature on games like Forspoken, okay? Why do you have that? Oh, it was on clearance, I promise. Promise. We did not buy it full price. Whatever, dollar store, motherfucker. Is that a shot of Pepsi you're drinking? No, that's just coffee in a dog shitting mug. Yep, just coffee. You might even be able to see it. Look, we have this much left, so the show gets to go on until there. Chug it. Get rid of it. Finish it. We're getting there. Hold on. But if we put Pepsi in it, that sounds disgusting. Maybe it's good. Anyhow, Forspoken got a rating of M, making you think like, wow, maybe that game's good. Maybe the M is maybe. No, the M's more mature. And what they did with Forspoken is, instead of making a good game that you would want to necessarily play, they took a game that had some really good combat mechanics and some navigation capabilities, attached the shittiest story you could possibly do, made the worst first chapter level in almost gaming recent history that we can recall. Okay, that's how fucking bad it is for us. That first chapter of Forspoken, that shouldn't even be in the game. I swear that chapter alone drops that game down like 4 points in its review scores. What's with the vanilla ice do-rag on you? Oh, ice do-rag? No, sir. We might pick up a game of pickleball later, and we are always ready for it. No do-rag there. We can't afford those. Can you review GTA 6? We already did. That's the thing. We already reviewed GTA 6. See, people aren't familiar with this channel for a couple reasons. A, it's not that good, okay? That's pretty well known, okay? Everyone kind of gets it. Let's all start on that shitty ground floor level, okay, that we call dibs on. Everything else can only be better. This starts your day off. It's like, yeah, I woke up in a shitty mood, but I realized that this Scheissebox asshole's on there. And, you know, maybe my life's not that bad. I don't have to buy clearance spray paint to spray paint shit to fucking, you know, do stuff. I can go to work an 8-hour day and, you know, work in the hot sun instead. So, you know, however you entertain your time, your free time, whatever, here it comes out, will you play it and review? So, yes, so we actually, yes, we're not even joking. We already have our review for GTA 6 out, okay? Yeah, you'll have to go, man, unfortunately, you'll have to click on the channel, go to the playlist, go to, we believe it's Scheissebox, okay? And in there, we have an episode where we do our GTA 6 review. Yeah, I think it got a 9.5. And the reason that we are able to review it pretty early, and it might not have got a 9.5. We can't remember. We'd have to go back and like kind of watch, so we don't want to be wrong in what we said. Maybe we gave it an 8. We don't know, but we did review it because all of these other outlets and all of these other entities, okay, gaming journalists, things of that nature, they review games weeks sometimes just a week. All their early access review codes and stuff. Hey guys, the embargo's been lifted so I can now tell you everything they wanted me to tell you. Okay? No, we're being mean. We're picking. Okay? But, you know, we popped out the review. All these game journalists, man, they're reviewing games before the games are even released. And then they're moving on to the next title before anyone's even had a chance to play the original title that they have reviewed. The gaming industry has jacked itself up with having so many review outlets and codes that these companies that make the games pass out into the masses, that by the time that the game actually releases, everyone that, has a weighted part of the conversation around that game, okay? For instance, all right, let's name drop some more important YouTuber celebrityers than us, okay? Which is any of them, all right? Say Asmon of the Gold, okay? Asmon of the Gold gets a review code for a new game, okay? We'll call it New Game, okay? Asmon Gold plays New Game. Asmon Gold reviews New Game. New Game isn't out yet to the rest of the public, okay? Now, this is just an example, all right? But the New Game making studio, they didn't just send that code to Asmon. They sent it to X, Y, and Z of other, entities as well that create content. Now, these entities, they each create 2 or 3 content videos on New Game that came out. By the time New Game comes out, the conversation has moved on to where any new talking points are irrelevant. Any referencing to the game is virtually irrelevant unless it's one of the bigger titles that, hits it, like the distribution simulator that was on Steam that did really, really good. Not knocking the game, not saying that, there's no conversation that can still be had around games after they're released, after the big entities come out. But by then, those entities and those creators, they're already playing the next game that these game companies have given them before that game's even out. So the conversation, man, is constantly amongst the general populace, never able to keep up with where the game industry's going. And that's because they're shitting out all these codes, all right? Which isn't a big deal that they're shitting out the codes. It's that they're giving all these codes out. They're allowing early access. They're having pay for early access, iterations of titles and games that you can buy and purchase and be able to go through and such. The conversation changes. A release date stops being a release date and it starts being a release month. Well, that changes the release conversation around a game, because everyone, like we said, who's making content on the games, they've made their content. They're done with that shit. So, that's our opinion on it anyhow. Thanks for knowledge. I'll check the vid out. Oh, yeah, no, the video's not good. We just reviewed it early. It's not a legitimate review, technically, really. You don't want to check any of them out, especially if you subscribed. Just stay subscribed and don't watch anything else we ever do, or else you'll probably unsubscribe. So, that's just how it goes. But, whatever. No, it might be all right. You might enjoy it, or you probably won't. Oh, well, you can only live with regret when you live with regret. So, well, bless. Yeah, have a good one. Yeah, we'll catch yous. Yep. All right. That's different with GTA because Rockstar released a new game every 10 years. Yeah, so that's, man, in our little chat episode yesterday, sorry, we were talking about, GTA there for a minute and stuff in comparison and game development. One of our members of, there's memberships free. This will never be behind a paywall. We wrote it on here, game development and mechanics. So we did a show about that yesterday. This dude's funny. Yeah, we want to see someone funny too. Send us the link for that stream. That way we can stop this. Hold on, we're getting a call from management. Fuck. What do you want? We're doing the show. We're on time today. Uh-huh. What do you mean don't tell them to watch other streams? Oh. What, you expect them to stay here through the whole thing? That's dumb. Stop calling. Sorry about that. Anyhow, so you have, what the hell are we talking about? Yeah, so games. Forspoken, it came out. It's rated M. That game sucks. That game should be rated N, for nobody should play it. Now, the thing that sucks about it is that the graphics are really good. The combat's okay. The traversal and stuff like that is, phenomenal. Now, with that being the case, they junked it all up by being like, hey, here's some shitty story, and then the game's rated M. Nothing in the entire release of Forspoken should make this game rated M. The combat is really vanilla, okay? You're not chopping and lobbing people's heads and body part and extremities off, okay? You're fighting fake little rock monster guys, okay? So they just kind of disappear and go away. This game should be rated T for teen, but in our thoughts and opinions and conjecture and assumptions, the folks that made this game were like, hey, we can't release this game as a T for teen because it sucks. So let's have this chick say the F word every other, sentence randomly, and we'll just slap a M on it. And then everyone will be like, whoa, M for mature? That means it's very good or something. I don't know. Or maybe they just wanted to keep it out of little kids' hands. They're like, if you play this as a teenager, you will give up gaming for the rest of your life. And you will actually lead to the contribution of sinking a billion-dollar industry that, as of recently we heard, alone accounts and attributes for more revenue than the music industry and Hollywood movie industry combined. That's pretty phenomenal. You know how much money Hollywood and shit used to make? You know how much shit we got for playing games growing up? We came in at Atari. Atari, Game Boy, Nintendo, you're wasting your time. Okay, so we did. Look where it got us. But we had fun doing it, and we got to live through and experience a lot of adventures. Were they yours? No, they were digital adventures, but they were fun. So, we can't fly on our own. GTA 6 is going to be rated worse than M because it's going to feel too real. Hey, so, yeah, we segued. We didn't even talk about GTA when we went to start talking about GTA. Sorry. Anyhow, yeah, so the developers for Grand Theft Auto, that's the difference in iterations we were talking about yesterday. Might have been the day before. I don't know. Grand Theft Auto iterations that come out every 10 years, okay? They put the love and attention to detail, okay? There's a Steam game, okay? Domari Games, okay? Another one of our little Chatty Coffee Crew members. Stop by every now and again, okay? Independent game developer, okay? They got Luke the Hybrid out, okay? On Steam, okay? This developer, okay, puts in love, attention to detail, this, that, the other, to keep the game going, keep it fresh, add new stuff to it. You got games like Grand Theft Auto that do the same level of attention to detail and love for the product at hand. Now, you take Grand Theft Auto and you put it side by side with Borderlands or Call of Duty or Madden or any other title, and yes, different types of games, different, things needed for development, sure, conceded. But the difference is that Borderlands, Madden, Call of Duty, let's do our recent presidential quote. These companies have been releasing iterations of games so frequently, the same titles so frequently, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, okay? These game companies are like, hey, let's shit out another Call of Duty. And I don't care if you have 3 independent, different studios working on the Call of Duty takes and iterations. When you use the name to sell the product, when one of those companies does it wrong or does it ill, that's all of you do it wrong and do it ill. A third of you are down. The other 2 companies, the other 2 studios might very well be able to float the franchise. The franchise will always sell because they're going to drop it and throw it in so many people's faces with marketing that they won't give a shit that the game is manipulating play on the back end for serious or more serious gamers like us. What the fuck's serious about this? Don't worry about it. We're kind of on a tangent. But, they manipulate the gameplay and change the time to kill so more serious gamers like us, okay, lose our interest in the game because they're screwing with how it needs to play, all right? We don't need to be coddled by game studios and be given extra hit points, and we don't need our opponents' weapons to be nerfed because we can't keep our ass in cover, all right? There's a difference between game studios releasing iterations of Grand Theft Auto and showing it the love and attention to detail and the interactability and the new mechanics and things like that that they seem to roll out in every iteration whilst somehow upping their level of graphical fidelity and design and gameplay and everything like that. Okay? Or you get Borderlands, and then another Borderlands, and another Borderlands. Only difference is this Borderlands has new guns in it, and this Borderlands has new guns in it. Look how many guns. They still have so many fucking guns in the first couple iterations of Borderlands. Surely not all of them have been come across. That's only a selling point for so long, okay? We were done with Borderlands after Borderlands 2. Now, more power to anyone who enjoys all of their Borderlands. I loves the cel-shaded look. I loves how the characters explode. I loves the, new randomization of weapons algorithm, okay, that they wrote fucking 5 years ago. Or whatever, okay, fantastic. We're not knocking it, okay? It's a playable game, but it's the same game. Look at Grand Theft Auto. They're all different. They all play a little different. Yes, it's the same, okay? A very hard argument, okay, to draw on the line without maybe being face-to-face and really talking it out. But you look how Nico Bellic went around. You look how the iterations after that, okay, part 5, where you're switching between protagonists and things of that nature, all right? The games play different, and the attention and level of detail is in them. Borderlands plays the same. The attention and level to detail is the same. It's still roughly pseudo-barren with a couple interactable, things and the same shit. Open a container. Get some rando ammo. Get a rando shitty weapon for the first couple hours of the game. Then get good. Get a decent ammo gun. You can have some fun. It's not that it's not playable or entertaining. It's that for us, it's not brand new, entry-level price, playable, entertaining. Grand Theft Auto is. That's pretty much a day one buy, even when they fuck up as a studio, okay? And mess up their release of the Grand Theft Auto Online. It'll be rolling out. We think it was October 6th. It probably wasn't. I don't know. Whenever that was supposed to come out, maybe it was October 10th or 11th. Maybe it wasn't at all. Maybe it wasn't even in October. It doesn't matter. It was supposed to come out and it was jacked up. Okay? But you could still play the game. You could still go through the entire love that had crafted the world of Grand Theft Auto 5. Let's catch up on what we've been missing. Grand Theft Auto. Oh, we only missed one comment. This won't take us long. You hit the nail on the head. Yes, we did. We've been working on the studio for a while. Oh, you're not talking about the studio. Sorry. Oh, we should read the whole thing, but words start dragging on. Most companies know the name, so it's not just gaming either. Apple iPhones is the same, mostly just a better camera. Hey, absolutely, yes. In fact, it's even worse than that. Like, yeah, sometimes it's not even a better camera. In fact, we watched someone else's better video than ours, and they were doing a breakdown, man, of the actual iterations of phones that have come out. And yeah, any new upgrades, any new battery changes in life are negligible. And in some iterations, we dare say even far worse. You look at phones that used to be around that had expandable memory storage docks and bays in them. It's bullshit that cell phone companies took that option and ability out. You used to be able to remove and replace and change batteries. It's bullshit that companies took that option and ability out. We wanted to waterproof our phone. You know what you can waterproof? You can waterproof yourself, motherfuckers! Let me take care of my phone. Oh, I dropped it in the pool. Fuck! I wish they waterproofed it. Whatever. You live and learn. The studio is nice too, bro. Oh, it's not done. It's going to be way... Okay, well, it's going to be done sometime. When we work on it. We added this towel. We do reviews on the other side. We spray paint stuff here. Come behind the curtain where the sausage is made. But we'll have another wall eventually. But it's not there yet. Now we'll put it back. Now it's Chatty Coffee Crew. Look, we do a lot of shows here now. I wish you didn't do any. Well, fair enough. Too late now. Let's talk about more ratings. There's some games that skip out on ratings and really need to up the ante, we would say. Okay, now there's games that have come out. All right. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. This game's rated T for teen, and there's only one reason why it's rated T for teen, because they wanted to sell it to as many people as possible. So, whilst you have adult-themed songs and elements in the game, sometimes they're edited songs, and that's so that they can maintain that T for teen rating. And if there's one thing that we really don't like, it's edited music in songs. You know, there's a difference between listening to, and whether you like her or not, Courtney loves America's Sweetheart, okay? We really like that album. I hate Courtney Love. Okay, that's fine. Musically, we really like that album. But if you listen to that album and it's full, fleshed out language that it was written to have in it versus the edited version of it, there are massive differences in it, and it changes the entirety of it. Same thing if you're listening to, random songs that are edited and stuff like that, just so that they can maintain that level of, let's sell this game to as many people as possible. And that's probably the right call, especially in games like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, which is going to appeal to the ever-loving masses, okay? And they'll probably, reap the rewards and benefits of that. Who won't reap the rewards and benefits of that are the listeners of music who genuinely love the original song to not be tampered with or altered. Is that going to ruin the gameplay? No. Is it going to ruin the immersive experience of doing 500 back-to-back manuals while you're connecting tricks and stuff like that? No! It won't ruin that immersion. That's the most realistic gameplay ever. We've seen Rodney Mullen skate. It's fucking possible. He's one of our favorites. He's fucking awesome. He can fucking do that shit, yeah. Point is that they maintain the rating to maintain the status of maintaining the income coming in of all of little Timmy's mommies and daddies for buying them this game. Hey, it's only rated T for teen. The music's edited sometimes. So, can I play it? And they're like, yes, here you go. Here's money. We'll call it allowance. Now, don't bother us for another week. I'm like, okay, Mom and Dad, see ya. I'm going to play Tony Hawk. And they go play Tony Hawk. Fantastic. So, there's games that come out. All right? There's movies that come out. Let's take you on a little trip called Independence Day. Now, you might be saying, what, 4th of July? We don't want a history class. It's like, well, I think you do, but we're not doing that. We're talking about the movie. Which one, the first one or the second one? Well, the first one, we're a boomer, so only the old shit that doesn't make sense to anyone else. That way it's like we're authorities on the subject and no one can contest it. So the first one came out. It was rated PG-13. That was so that people like us could go see it. We were in probably like the 8th grade when the first Independence Day came out. We went to theaters to see it. This was back when theater hopping was allowed. And by allowed, we mean it technically wasn't, but people didn't care back then. So you could go to a movie theater when it opened, catch a flick, and then just go to other theaters when that one let out, like in the same theater. And you just go sit down. Sometimes you miss a starting of a movie, but if you look at the schedule and line it up, usually you can do the 3 for the price of 1 admission. Now, I think movie theaters have stopped doing that since the 80s, 90s, stuff like that. Maybe even early 2000s. Now I think the only way to get in is by doing the 2 people stacked on top of each other routine, which might work. Still, we've seen a video where it did. So, you never know. But Independence Day came out, and it was rated PG-13. That's because these studios, these game company makers, these music industry executives, they know the smart move to get as much bang return for their buck on whatever they're dropping or putting out as possible. So, they leave it at that level of, hey, we can't push the boundary on this because it's going to nix an entire group that we want the money of, okay? So they have to gear stuff a little toned down. They have to drop it to that acceptability level where parents won't be like, I don't want my kid watching that. And kids will be like, oh, that still looks cool enough to go see. I wish it was rated R, but if it was, I wouldn't be allowed to see it. Good thing it's PG-13. And then they go and get to catch a movie. Okay, that's PG-13. That's what Independence Day was. You know how awesome that movie would have been if it was rated R? Think Independence Day meets Aliens and Terminator. In a way better, presentation. Holy moly ravioli. That'd probably be pretty fantastic. I thought the Back to the Company's using the name. They do it with movies, too. Fast and Furious. Do we need that many movies like her? So, probably a couple differences that we would state in the Harry Potter franchise and the Fast and Furious franchise, with a couple similarities as well. So, let's start Fast and Furious, okay? Because those movies kind of hit theaters first, and were dropping, and everyone got into the car scene, and this was back in, 99, 2000? Because you also had the second iteration of Gone in 60 Seconds come out with Nicolas of the Cage. Now, we loves us some Nicolas of the Cage, and when those two movies hit very close together, all right, then that was when everyone was like, oh shit, let me trick out my car. Let me get these neon underlights. Let me get all these neon, this, that, the other interior extensions, okay? It set the precedent of what consumer car modification could become, and it was tied to an iteration of illegal street racing and things like that. Fuck, we used to work at a place, all right, and we had a couple coworkers that were super into those car clubs when they first started hitting, streets and stuff like that, right around those movies. And it was a wicked, crazy gang mentality that these motherfuckers had, right? We remember being in the place of business and work, and at the intersection next door, okay, so you could see it out the business windows, all right? Motherfucker came by in a competing car club, okay, revving engines and stuff at the light, this, that, the other, and hauled ass down the road. Our coworker left work, went and got in their fucking car, and chased them the fuck down to race them. It's like, okay, we'll watch the store. Bad idea. Don't let us watch the store. Okay, you can let us watch the store. We're actually way more responsible than you think, or might maybe think. We even have a college degree. What a waste of fucking money. I throw back to yeah, no. So, the point is that these movies came out, Gone in 60 Seconds, the second iteration, Fast and the Furious, and they got so beloved by aspects of the community that the people who wrote Fast and Furious were like, oh, well, there's something here. Let's write another script. The only difference is that I don't know if they necessarily anticipated writing another script. So what you get with the Fast and Furious franchise is an amalgamation of separate stories that somehow get interwoven together in weird aspects and components. Look at Fast and the Furious 3, Tokyo Drift, okay? Takes place in Japan, or from what we remember, maybe it's not Japan, okay? Don't quote us. We are fairly decent at the movie history, but we might be wrong on some iterations of it, so please don't hold that aspect against us. It takes place on not U.S. soil, where the first couple took place, okay? So you have Tokyo Drift. Isn't Tokyo in fucking Japan? We're probably right about that shit. Don't even worry about it. Hold on. Management's calling. What do you want? Oh, Tokyo. Yeah, it is in Japan. Yeah, well, we were fucking right. Don't interrupt the show again. All right, anyhow. Sorry, management thinks they know how to run the place better than us. I'll bet it's the same way everywhere. The point is that you have such a interwoven random amalgamation of storylines and arcs and such that kind of came together because they were pulling stories from random places and writers and trying to make them work. Okay, now where you might have similarities in the Harry Potter universe, all right, is when what's-her-face wrote the books. What's her name? Don't you know it? We didn't plan on talking about Harry Potter, but if we think about it for a while, we'll probably remember it. Okay, so what's-her-face wrote the Harry Potter books, and maybe they had some ideas, and maybe after the first book came out and such, they were like, I would have done this, I would have done that, would have maybe changed this or that. Okay? It did so well, receptively, amongst the masses, that people begged for more. People begged for the story to continue. And it got to be that way even more so when that shit hit theaters and they made the Harry Potter of the ones back in the 99, 2000, 2001, wherever around there. And we'll tell you this, we were managing a Blockbuster at the time when that shit came out. And man, we didn't even know about Harry Potter, but we knew that corporate had fucking sent us the most Harry of the Potter videos out of any video we had seen in our 2-year professional movie peddling career. We had so many fucking Harry Potter movies, man, just bays of them. And of course, we got them before release so that we could take them home as employees and watch them and be able to talk about them with the customers, patrons, things of that nature. And sometimes, you just brought movies home and didn't even watch them because you had so many fucking movies. But when this movie came out, we were like, what's this Harry Potter thing? Why do we have so many of them? Why are all of the DVDs fucking gone already? This was at the turn of DVDs. So we had like hundreds of VHSs and 15 DVDs. All the DVDs were gone. The rest of the employees took them. Fucking, they must have had better setups than us at the time. But so we got a VHS of Harry of the Potter. And we were like, man, what is this movie? What is this about? And we put it in. And graphically and everything, it's a kid's movie, but holy shit, that movie is done well. Like, if we were a kid at the age of Harry Potter coming out, we'd be begging for the next iterations too. So, with Harry Potter, it's the same author, the same creator, the same mind and entity that while might change a couple things in a story, or some stuff might come roundabout in a way, or come together just by happenstance, they're not pulling storylines like the Fast and the Furious from all these iterations of authors and storylines and things like that to conceptualize a design for it, because when they dropped that first one, they probably didn't anticipate making 9 or 10 more of those motherfuckers. Okay? Same way, even if she wrote Harry Potter and never thought she'd write another Harry Potter again, she might have had ideas for, something or another, but maybe it didn't take off. And maybe, she's like, I'm going to throw in the hat. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to write the next one, the Chamber of the Secrets, okay? And it never becomes the entity that it is. John Wick is another good franchise, uses the name, but for good reasons. Yeah, so absolutely. So, unfortunately, all right, our knowledge base of the John Wick franchise is going to pretty much end at the end of the second half of the second movie. Now, that's because we fell asleep watching it and never went back to finish it, the second one, and because we never finished the second one, we couldn't pull ourselves to watch the third one or the fourth one. So we are just behind in the John Wick franchise. But we knows that Keanu Reeves is phenomenal for the stuff that he does. We loved him in the first 1.5 John of the Wicks that we've seen. We've really just seen, John. We haven't seen Wick, because 3 and 4 are obsolete. And John spells his name Jon in the version we saw, because we only saw half of the first movie, or second movie. But the point is that absolutely, yeah, when there is love of a franchise, I mean, shit, look at the love that Keanu Reeves had as an actor for the character of John Wick, all right? Because you see in the interviews with other folks that had hands in those movies and such, that dude was learning new tricks and new ways to reload guns and accepting the role. And in the capacity of everything that it entailed, he showed a level of dedication and love to the craft that resonates with the audience, that calls for another iteration of it to come out. Same thing with Grand Theft Auto. Every iteration of that game that comes out calls for another iteration of that game to come out, because it is that good. Now, Borderlands, Call of Duty. No one's calling for these games to come out. The studio's just fucking shitting them out. Assassin's Creed. Here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. Buy this shit. We stopped buying Assassin's Creed years ago at full price. These studios are cranking out these fucking games. We're getting them for $5 to $10. We're not playing them when they first come out anymore. We used to back in PS3, PS4, Xbox One day. Yeah, we might keep up with every title that came out. Get out of here, man. Epic keeps giving me free games every week. Amazon of the Prime with our mom subscription keeps giving us free games all the time. GOG keeps giving us free games here and there. Free games keep coming out with pay-to-win mechanics based in them that you can play for free. The industry has changed. And we're not shelling out full price for Borderlands no fucking more. We will for Grand Theft Auto. Absolutely. Borderlands, Call of Duty, that motherfucker better come on Game Pass, and we might dabble. We're not saying we won't ever play, because we picked up Borderlands 3. $10 or less. We picked up Borderlands Tiny Tina's Wonderland. $7.50 on an online digital scale. It might have been $4.99. We don't remember. Point is, it wasn't full price. First 3 movies are more for kids. Oh, the first 3 Harry of the Potters. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, okay, right on. Yeah, so, man, there's a lot of conversation around the Harry of the Potters as well. Actually, claim a backbone and 4 different martial arts. Yeah, so I know Keanu can really shoot. That doesn't surprise me about the martial arts stuff as well, because you take into account movies like The Matrix and such, where some caliber of training, stylings, all that, man, really came to fruition and point, okay? Keanu Reeves is a master artist and dedicated to his craft, and it resonates on film and with the community, because we couldn't sing high enough praises for the dude. Believe it or not, our mom met this dude, right? She met Keanu Reeves. This is a real story, true story. Collaborate it. Well, we can't, because this was before cell phones. So she met Keanu Reeves in a restaurant, okay? He was eating. She didn't have, like, oh, shit, that's Keanu Reeves. Better go interrupt his meal. So she did, of course. I don't have anything for him to sign. I need his auto of the graph. Oh, here's my kid's diaper. She had Keanu Reeves sign our little brother's diaper because that's all she had for him to write on. And he did it. Fucking probably set that shit right there on the table while he was eating. He's like, sure, ma'am, not a problem. Let me just set this fucking diaper next to my burrito. I don't know what he was eating. It was probably a nicer restaurant. Our mom didn't take us. We weren't there. Anyhow. Yeah. So, yeah, Keanu Reeves, man, he's fantastic. Yep. Yep. Now, and this was years ago. This was in the 90s. This was back when we lived in D.C., man. So, yeah, this is 91, 92. Man, maybe around there. Maybe not. I don't know. We'd have to do math. We don't math so well. But, yeah, I mean, phenomenal. You can't... Individuals like Keanu Reeves, individuals like Bill Murray, okay? And I really can't throw other actors and artists into the mix, aside from those two, because the way that they interact with their general public and their general fandom and their general celebrityness is so unique, okay? For Keanu Reeves to ride the subway and give away extra money that he doesn't need or want. You know, he's doing what he wants to do, and he's giving away the access. Now, that's why channels like this exist. For anyone who has that access, fucking hook that shit up. But if you don't, then don't. Take care of yourself first. Those that you love more than us, a little unlikely, but maybe, second. Those, well, more deserving than us, third. But we'll take any piddly scraps you got left over. But Keanu Reeves, they're not even leftover scraps that he's given away. He's given away out of generosity and love. Very commendable as an individual, as an actor, as an artist, as an entertainer. Fantastic. And, very, very commendable. Bill Murray, He interacts with his public a different way. Now, we can't say what he does necessarily financially with any endeavors, but it probably still is true to this day. The way that Bill Murray is contracted or contacted for roles, you call a fucking answering machine and leave a message for him and be like, hey, you want to do this movie about X, Y, or Z? And then dude will just show up. Okay? He's been in movies he wasn't even supposed to be in before, and he's done things that people in a million years would have never thought he would have done. The way he interacts with his public, with his fans, with all of those Bill Murray stories, you can YouTube of the search funny Bill Murray stories, and they are out there, and they are hilarious. The most random shit. Him walking by, people's tables while they're eating and like eating French fries off their plate, saying, I'm Bill Murray, no one will ever believe you that this happened. That shit's comedic gold. Okay? For him to take the time to hone in and learn and know about one individual that works at an establishment and to make them seem like they are the most important person in Bill Murray's life for that moment of time, you cannot transfer that just willy-nilly. That is a genuine special caliber and type of person that is able to achieve that. And Bill of the Murray, Keanu of the Reeves, fantastic. As humanitarians, Chatty Coffee Crew, hats off to those individuals. And surely more are deserving as well. But they elude us right now, so obviously they're not as impressive. He filmed Speed. Yeah, exactly. This is around the time he filmed Speed. Exactly, man. We knew there was a bigger title around it. And we knew it wasn't The Matrix. But yeah, Speed, exactly. Right around Speed, man. Post Bill and Ted's. The first ones. We loved Bill and Ted Bogus Journey. And then the other iteration that they came out with just a few years back, man, too. Like, we didn't like the ending. But the movie's fantastic. Awesome return to form and function, man. You hit nostalgic folks like us, and when Beavis and Butthead roll back out, holy shit, Beavis and Butthead do the universe. What a movie and a flick that is, man. Is it the best one out there? No. But man, to continue and go from there's some fantastic stuff. When you're a famous million of fans, celeb, we hope so. And we like to think we're a stand-up guy either way, but surely there's stuff that we can work on. And as soon as we get rich, we're going to make it a point to do so. But obviously, we're holding out for YouTube's money, and they're not giving it to us. So we need the subscribers and stuff like that, apparently. And more importantly, those watch hours. So now people get to watch us do stuff, and that's unfortunate for them, but we only ask that they actually just leave the stream running and then go to work. Hit one of our longer videos and don't watch it. Mute that shit and go do something better. We just need the watch view hours. We don't care if you like or watch the content. Yeah. Don't forget me, I'm going to be a loyal fan. Well, good looking out. Yep, it's a wrap, Tours, absolutely. Yeah. Our name's already out there. It's just usually painted in a horrible light. But we made things even harder for ourselves, too, because we digs the underground. And with our love and appreciation of film and movies, we went ahead and changed the word rock in our channel to a completely wrong spelling of rock. And it's probably set us back in droves and made it even harder of an uphill push and battle. That's okay, because we referenced Billy Madison in our title. And we grew up with that movie. It was fantastic. Adam Sandler at his peak and prime. There's some funny shit in that. The sea is silent and it shall remain silent here. I can help. Watch hour. Much appreciated helping with the watch hours. You'll regret it later, but hey, right on. Come hang out. Yep. We'll do this as often as we do this. We'll probably even eventually get a schedule, but it'll probably fluctuate after summertime. Or not. I don't know yet. We're just going to keep going and doing as we do. But for one thing, sure, this will never be behind a paywall, and we'll probably keep posting crap. So, it's a lose-lose for humanity and the internet as a whole, but maybe we'll get a buck. So, fucking rad. Anyhow, we haven't talked about a lot of, necessarily ratings in the last couple minutes, so we better shit this out really fast to bring it back full circle. There's some games that are rated way below their ratings, okay? There's some games that come out, they're rated E for everyone. It's like, what the hell is this game? This shouldn't be rated E for everyone. What kind of things are they trying to teach children in this? You got games like My Friend Peppa Pig, rated E for everyone right there. It's backwards. Well, it's fucking imposed. Here, we'll turn it around. Now it's forward to us. It's rated E for everyone. My Friend Peppa now. We don't want to touch this argument with a 10-foot pole because this is not a political channel. But games that let you choose your species, we thought there was a problem with that some way, shape, or form, or that was a point of contention. We thought kids weren't supposed to be shitting in litter boxes in classrooms. But this game lets you pick what species you want to be, and it's rated E for everyone. We joke sometimes. Get good ones. No, maybe. Write them for us. Anyhow, okay, so that's probably appropriately rated E for everyone. Anyone can play My Friend Peppa, except people who don't want to. They're like, fuck that, I'm never getting that game. Why do you have that game? Shh. Moving on. Anyhow, you have games that come out that hit the level of ratings that they need to hit the levels of maturity that they need to hit, and set the precedent for, no, this is what this game is going to be, this is what this game is, and this is how this game has to play and perform. And it's just a rated M game. Okay? Look at games like Sunset Overdrive. All right? Rated M for mature. Now, it's kind of a wonky, cartoony, comic booky, actiony kind of, beat 'em up. Almost. All right? Plays somewhat like, Ratchet and Clank and Tony Hawk combined and, whatever. We love the game. Fantastic game. It's rated M. They probably could have rated it T for teen, dropped some language or whatever aspect of it is, holding it back to it, and probably garnered a little bit of a bigger following and fandom to it. However, we guarantee you if they drop Sunset Overdrive, made it T for teen, the game would probably suck. Like, whatever components and aspect to it, make it into the iteration and aspects that Sunset Overdrive is and became, all right, is phenomenal. And anything that would detract or pull away and take away from that is definitely not going to benefit the studio, which is phenomenal, all right, and all of their stuff that they do anyway, Insomniac, all their Spider of the Mans and this, that, and the other, all right? If they had taken the time to drop this down, if they were concerned about hitting that T for teen rating, because they're like, I think we can get another 1 million sales if we make it T for teen, so let's change the gameplay. Let's alter the story. Let's make it less adult-oriented, okay? You're fucking up the original game when you change all that shit. So you probably don't want to change that. Hence, it's rated M. It didn't sell or do as well as surely they would have wanted or desired. But you have your street cred intact. You didn't fuck up, release for Cyberpunk 2077. You didn't drop something that didn't live up to standards and expectations. You stayed by your product as a studio. It's a rated M game, and you dropped it, okay? And it fared how it fared, but you have your street cred intact, and you didn't sacrifice the overall artistic design of the game. Cyberpunk did fuck it up in the game now. Yeah, so, yeah. Sorry. We talked about Cyberpunk a good chunk yesterday. We think it was yesterday or day before, one of them. And yeah, no, they have fixed it. And our biggest thing with Cyberpunk, all right, is that the release of that game for us was not bad or as bad and as atrocious as it was for other individuals. So we lucked out the gate. We had our Series X, okay? We got, that one, we're lucky, okay? Target was like, hell yeah, you can online order this shit. And we're like, well, fuck to the yeah, we will. So we got our Series X, and we had a console that was capable of running the iteration of the game that was there in existence when it came out. So we were able to play through it. We were able to enjoy it. We were able to have fun with it. Couple bugs. There's one point in time where dude was like standing through his car and shit, and it looked fucking weird when he was driving around, but we were playing the game that we wanted to play that had been pushed back, that everyone was like, oh, don't push it back again, please. And management was like, okay, here's the release version you get. Bad call, management. Bad fucking call. They should have gone back on their word. They should have pushed it back, not dropped it on PS4 and Xbox One. Hands down. Would have been way, way better. They should have just put it out on PC, and we would have cried. Be like, no, we want to play it now. But yeah, like you said, look what it became. Look what it turned into. One of your top threes. That's fantastic. That means that it's better than a lot of other games if you have more than 3 games that you play. And we would agree that it's up there for us too. Even when we've returned to it after big updates that have come out, it just impresses us more. It just runs better. But the thing about it is yeah, they botched their release. They took their good name, and while they're fixing it, while they're doing the Hello Games, Matt Murray, we believe is his name, might not be, whatever. The love and dedication for the people at this studio is there. Surely the developers, for everyone developing Cyberpunk, was not happy with how that entire release went down, and surely every decision that was made with how it went down was above their fucking pay grade. All right? Surely they didn't have a hand in it. They were probably like, yo, boss, this shit ain't ready. We've been working on this fucking PC build, and you want us to crank this bad boy out on that shitty-ass PS4 back there? I don't even have a PS4 at home. Okay, now, hold on. We do. Okay, we have a PS4 Pro now. We had upgraded that back in the day. Why? I don't know. We wanted to give PlayStation more money. Oh, yeah, we all do. Excellent. Let's go get the PS5 Pro now. Whatever. When the management made the call to just drop it as is, and then they had to issue refunds for physical game titles, okay? They concorded that bitch. They've clawed their way back, and rightfully so. It shouldn't have been that way out the gate. They really did themselves a very big disservice. They might as well have changed the name of Cyberpunk to Psy and left the B out like we did with the C in Rock. Okay? Because they're pushing that uphill battle. But, that's how it goes. Top 3, GTA 6. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of tops, we feel, absolutely. Issues or bugs on PS4? Oh, really? Well, all right, so maybe the issues and bugs weren't as bad on PS4 as, were kind of made popular by all of the different, kind of uploads and such that, I guess, reviewers and media folk and stuff would hone in on and be like, oh, look at this game-breaking bug or whatever, this, that, and the other. So that's great if it was a playable entity, even on PS4 when it came out, because people craved the game. People wanted the game. The studio was renowned for making game. Witcher 3, okay? Other games too, but this was the studio. Witcher 3. Look at that game. Look how long they worked on that game. Okay? Look how long they've worked on Cyberpunk now to get it back to the condition to be in the tops on people's top games. and it's rightfully so. The game is phenomenal, graphically phenomenal. The gunplay, the gameplay, the modifications you can do to your body itself in the game, amazing. The story we enjoyed. The choices that you can make on how to approach stuff, maybe vanilla in some avenues and directions, maybe a little guns blazing in others. Phenomenal. Couldn't enjoy it more. Could enjoy it more, I guess, but don't worry about that. Anyhow, it was phenomenal. So absolutely, yeah. That's great that, anyone on PS4 was able to rock it with minimal issues, because it seemed, and that's news to us, as professional shitty celebrities, that most folks had negative association with it on PS4. So good to hear, barely any issues. So there was some playability level out there and some fun factor that folks obviously stuck with and rocked out. Okay? And that just goes to show you probably the more desire and love to go through a game that a renowned studio like CG Projekt Red was able to do. Yo and the Hey, the big JC! All right, welcome Chatty Coffee Crew. Yeah, we've been rocking for a minute. We got this much left. We're about to have to chug this. But yeah, we're talking games, little GTA, little this, that, the other. A few movies. Talked about mixing Alien and Predator and stuff like that, and Terminator, and coming out with a hybrid Independence Day. Talked about a lot of crap here and there, the usual. Okay, top 5. GTA 6. Last of Us. Hitman. Cyberpunk. Up for grabs. Well, we haven't played Up for Grabs. That's your top 5, huh? No. We're joking. We know that. That means it's TBD or to be determined. Well, have you heard of a little game called My Friend Peppa? You can pick which type of species animal you want to be. Might hit that top 5. Again, why do you have that? Don't worry about it. We're professionals. We're supposed to have it. No, the fuck you're not. We have maracas. Oh, this channel just got better. Oh, we should have led with those then. Welcome, Chatty Coffee Crew. We have maracas. There's entities and games that have come out that tote the line, all right, of needing to maintain that caliber and that status, all right, of their game, all right? They can't go to the rated M, Sunset Overdrive track or route, because they want to portray themselves as a family-friendly company, all right? My Friend Peppa should have already been on your top 5, so the fact that it's just hitting it now is a little concerning to us. But as long as it makes its way on there, then that's good. That's good. I mean, really, we're surprised there's not more conversation around that game constantly. I mean, Peppa Pig is a massive franchise. It's like Game of Thrones big, only amongst kids. Fuck that game. Huh? What? Shh. There's games that can't break that rated T for teen stuff. GTA Vice City, yeah, absolutely. Resident Evil 2, yep. GoldenEye, Pac-Man, absolutely. Galaga, classic. See, there's so many routes that you can go and so many eras that you can embark on. We're just surprised no one's, top, 5 has been the Virtual Boy yet. Super Mario Virtual Boy. We never had a Virtual Boy, but our friends did. We played the fuck out of it. We probably played it more than they did. I don't even think they liked it. We should have just got it from them. Anyhow, Virtual Boy was fucking rad. We didn't have one. Our friend did. Shut up. Anyhow, there's games that can't change. What do you think of Hitman, bro? I have over 1,000 hours in that game. It's so addictive, finding ways to kill targets. Yeah, so with Hitman for us, you got to keep in mind that we are from the old school with the original Hitmans. So when they reinvented the wheel, which, same Hitman wheel, it became a even bigger, greater game. We love what they've done with Hitman. Phenomenal. We love the choices. We love the interactability. We love the scenarios and the gameplay. It is an entirely different franchise and game that existed when we played the original Hitmans that were out back in the day, carrying a little body somewhere and stuff like that, okay? What they've done with that franchise is amazing, and we couldn't praise it enough. Now, we haven't beat that game, the new iterations of it. We probably went through, a chunk of the old games too. Hitman as a franchise was never our most favorite franchise. Never bad. Never hated the game. Never bought the poster and put it on our wall. Okay, if that makes sense. Never felt the need to go eliminate the last target. Okay? Not that we wouldn't want to, but that game is so deep now in the level of detail and offerings that we couldn't speak highly enough about it, and we don't even play it. We've played the first chapter, the boat mission and stuff like that. We beat that one. It's phenomenal. We have the game. Epic giving away or whoever. Okay, Amazon Prime giving away. Someone giving it away all the time. Okay, so we got the game and the remastered iterations and stuff like that. It's phenomenal. We just don't pop it in often enough to play it enough. But yeah, couldn't speak highly enough about it. Love what they did with the franchise in reintroducing it. We love what they did with the Doom as well, on Doom and Doom Eternal. This last iteration of Doom, it's a clunky it doesn't seem like Doom to us. Path of Neo, yeah, old Matrix one on that one. Is that one? Manhunt, yeah, we did Manhunt a little bit. The game Manhunt or real life Manhunt, because we've done both. Yeah, and then Rockstar do Manhunt too. They put that one out, or are we mistaken? Rocksteady? I don't know. Steady Rock. Whatever. But yeah, no, classic. Again, that was back, like PS3 era, or was that PS2 era? Probably PS2 it came out on, because we're visualizing the bigger case. I think there's yellow in it. But yeah, no, fantastic, games for sure. The old Hitman's 2, amazing as well. Yeah, firing is harder, and there's not as much, objectively, there's not as much stuff in those first Hitman games as they've added and brought to that franchise. They've done an amazing job at everything that they added, option-wise, play-wise, even down to like disguises and things of that nature and routes and what you can do and options you can make and take. It's like a open world linear game. And that's the first time we've ever used that to describe a game. It is an open world linear game because your objective's linear. The set and the scene might be linear. You might be relegated to a dock and a boat, okay, to complete your objective and mission. But in that confine, you can do pretty much whatever the fuck your character's able to do. It's amazing. Messed up my cousin, show you a game, makes you feel like sometimes. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff out there for sure. There's some games out there that are really, really crazy as well. Some stuff. Make a game based on the movie Running Man. Yeah, fantastic. That would be an awesome play, an awesome game. We would love to play a game made on Running Man. And I would say that, there's pseudo iterations of that, but never quite like that. You even look at like the newest Predators game and stuff that came out where it's like one person's the Predator and then you're like 4 or 5 people are like, the Marines and stuff like that. You have that kind of one versus multiple thing, but you never have that one going after one and then one going after one still if he doesn't succeed and one going after one and whatever. But no, Running Man, phenomenal movies, make a phenomenal play, absolutely. Let's see. Love Running Man, Arnold, be a game. Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Yeah. Wholeheartedly, Running Man would be a phenomenal game. And think of we don't like Hollywood constantly revisiting and remaking movies. Even Running Man, isn't the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger the second iteration of that? Or are we super mistaken? We might be mistaken. We thought it was the second iteration of it. Okay? The one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, it might not be. Maybe we're just thinking of something else, which very well could be. But with Running Man and us not liking Hollywood regurgitating old scripts. We were talking about Gone in 60 Seconds earlier in Fast and the Furious. The Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas on the Cage is the second fucking Gone in 60 Seconds that came out. A lot of people didn't know that. All these movies that keep coming out, they're fucking remakes of movies that have been out. Sometimes been out twice. But the point is that with these, entities and such that are in existence, if there was one that we wouldn't mind them bringing back around the block with updated graphics and visuals and, maybe script and dialogue, as long as they didn't, mess it up, which is very possible in Hollywood nowadays for some fucking reason, it would make for a phenomenal remake of a movie. Good old Running Man. Classic. I was saying Terminator game. Yeah, so the Terminator games that exist or whatever, there's some playability in them. Even the old school ones. Even the old school Revolution X Aerosmith game, right? The big guns on the arcade. Ooh, what a time to be a boomer. Yeah, that was some fantastic play. You play in like Revolution X and stuff, man. Any of those like Terminator-esque games. There's some fun value there. A lot of them could be revamped, reintroduced, and remastered, creating a phenomenal play experience for the gaming community. But companies and studios are like, no, let's drop Call of Duty 24. But be sure we change the name to Black Ops 6 so that they don't know there's 24 other fucking Call of Duties because we get one every year. We don't need more Call of Duty. We need more other games, Now, people loves their Call of Duty, like we said earlier. That's always going to sell. They're always going to throw those marketing dollars at it. It is a namesake, world-renowned. You could call the game Taylor Swift Call of Duty, and people would recognize both of those names. And be like, fucking might as well buy it. You would probably double your sales because all of Taylor Swift's fandom is going to buy them and then release the game again and call it Taylor's version. And they'll fucking buy it again. These companies want sales. Fucking there they are. Taylor's version. Bam. Second time, motherfucker. No, you can't add that. That doesn't make sense. Don't worry about it. We're moving on. The point is that I need to read this comment. I wonder if they'll ever make a new Face Off movie with Nick Cage. I watched that as a kid. Yeah, Face Off was fantastic. We liked that one, but going back and watching it again, we just went back and watched that one probably like 5 to 8 years ago. That one doesn't stand up so well, but man, what a great movie. I love a badass Dark Terminator game where you play as a role. Yeah, so that would be phenomenal. There's so many aspects of Terminator games that have been done that are all in the realm of the same. But when you think of stuff like that, like playing as a Dark Terminator or playing as other aspects, there are so many ways they could reinvigorate that entire franchise with a game that they have failed to do so because they keep doing the same shit. Like, oh, Terminator, it has to be these robots, and it has to be in this barren, decrepit, destroyed city-type block environment. No, they don't break the mold and do what, like, Hitman did when they reinvigorated and reintroduced the whole franchise. They probably need to, because Terminator is a franchise that is just so full of playable aspects, it screams game, movie, media, entertainment mix, and surprised that they don't approach those games from a different perspective. It's like, hey, we're making a Terminator game. Cool. You're gonna shoot this robot in this decrepit, barren, broken environment like you did in the last 3 fucking Terminator games. Wow. Way to break the mold. Give us the new. Stop cranking out iterations. No, man, I want Borderlands 4. I've been waiting. Okay. Well, we're waiting on Borderlands 7. Surely they're making that one now, too. That's the one we are really looking forward to. They're going to have an algorithm that makes a bunch of different guns. It's going to have 4 vault dwellers. There's 4 of them. When you play as the Terminator, it would feel like the new RoboCop game, but even better. Yeah, so there's a lot of aspects. And which Terminator 2? You got so many iterations. T-800, T-1000. You could make a Terminator game encompassing both aspects of it. Make it co-op. Make an online multiplayer Terminator battle arena. Terminator versus man versus other machine. Holy shit, make a game like Mag. Mag was awesome, but it wasn't awesome, but it was awesome. Mag was 128 player online, constantly evolving battle warfare, where you picked your faction, and the faction you picked, that's what you were. You couldn't change. So if you load up Terminator and you're like, I want to be a fucking Terminator, that's what you are. You load it up and say, I want to be one of the Marines or one of the human resistance fighters, that's what you are. And then go. And then make the battle ever going and make it to where objectives can be reached in real time. To where, hey, looks like in March, the resistance held out and was able to maintain this level. So now we're playing on this level. And if the Terminators win, we're going back to this level and you're on defense. But if you win, you're pushing them back even further and going to another level. And have it be real time. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's too hard. But it sounds fun to us. And it's in the Terminator environment. And that's just one aspect of it that it could be. You could make a single-player campaign where you're the T-1000. And you can manipulate your melty liquid skin and shit, right? The T-800 and go through. Be the Dark Terminator and go through and you have to assassinate Sarah Connor. Fucking, they're not approaching this shit from any other ways and means aside from those that have already been approached and made and meaned. Take out the nuclear war aspect, make the Terminators more like stealth ninja assassins. Yeah. Send them back in time. Blood out. Put some clothes on them. It's rated M. Okay, now it's rated T for teen. He needed your boots, your bike, and your clothes. Sorry. Yeah, you probably want it rated M if it's a Terminator game. We're just saying, we would push for the rated M. We need to see that Terminator in his full glory when he spawns in, okay? The show got weird. Okay, fair enough. Don't worry about it. The show's been weird. Or Predator, because you saw Predator, you can change the Predator you want, but it costs money. Oh, in the Predator game, it costs more money to switch Predators. If so, we're glad we didn't buy that, but that's some bullshit. Yeah, what the hell is that about? Hope that we're just, misreading that. That's absurd. Yeah, and if that's a thing, then everyone should stop playing that game immediately and tell those developers go fuck themselves, add all those skins for free, or we're not playing that shit again. Hey, it's well past the time for gamers to be getting taken advantage of by all these fucking companies. There's too many gosh darn games out there to play to have to be beholden to one developer like fucking Borderlands, and they're like, hey, you want the Borderlands? Here's the Borderlands. No, we don't want no fucking Borderlands. Well, we're making it. Well, that's fine. You make whatever the fuck you want. We ain't buying it. Yet you will when it's on clearance. Okay, fair enough. When it's on clearance, we'll buy your game. Create an amazing character with the T-1000. Yeah, absolutely. The transformation, the adaptability, phenomenal. And if you were an assassin going through to take out target X, Y, or Z, or infiltrate X, Y, or Z, or think of like the disguises that you could do with the T-1000 as well. You know, with being able to like mimic someone else's form. You could do a lot in that game, and if you had multiplayer aspects and components to it, with the T-1000, you could have one T-1000 and a lot of T-800s, and the T-1000, just like in Among Us, when you take on the shape and design of another character and stuff like that, and just become a mimic copy of them, so people think you're him, the T1000 could do that in the gameplay and probably add elements of gameplay to a game and make it phenomenal. One movie I think would be successful as a game is a Truman Show type game. We find out the whole life is a lie. You have to escape, kind of like Matrix. Too bad. So the thing about Truman Show is that you don't have to pretend that game doesn't exist. Walk out your front door. Just kidding. We're not all watching you when you're not here. Now, Truman Show would make a hell of a game. You'd have to do it right. But I guarantee you that the right studio could do it if you put it in their hands. It would have to be a storytelling studio, maybe along the line of Telltale Games. But we would not want the art style that they are kind of renowned for in that one. If we were doing a Truman Show game, we would not want the Telltale art style, okay? Now, they could probably do it really well. In theory, it would probably have to be more of like one of those, choice games and such. Maybe not so much combat and things of that nature. But, yeah, it'd be a phenomenal play. We could see that being absolutely fun, especially with, like, alternate routes and choices and decisions that you could make. It'd be fantastic. Matrix demo, yeah, man, that Matrix demo, we wish that they didn't pull that shit. We wish it was still available. Showcasing what not only the Unreal 5 engine could do, but what the PlayStation 5 could do. It's such a disservice for that not to be on there. We went to show someone that, probably a year or two ago, and it's like, oh shit, they pulled that bad boy, and they really shouldn't have. Like, it's such a showcasing demo, just like with the game Duels of the Planeswalkers. Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro Games, whoever made the decision to try and save the money of whatever that was costing you to keep it maintaining, functioning, and running on a server is one of the stupidest ideas, man, to ever shit can that and not have it available. Because when we learned how to play Magic of the Gathering, that's what we learned on it. It's a teaching aid. We went to show someone to teach them, and y'all pulled the fucking game. So, fuck you guys. They're not a fan now, and they're not going to be buying packs of your shitty cards that you keep making. So, there you go. Oh, those cards are great. Only some of them are. Some of them suck ass. Game that transforms from Sims to the Matrix Terminator. Shit. I would rather a game that transforms from the Sims into Red Alert. And then you get nuclear capabilities, and you obliterate that game. We only like the original Sims back before it became all simmy. Now it's like Super Sims. We don't like Super Sims. We don't like all of their monetization either. We don't really like that game anymore. We only like Sims back when it was on, like, fucking floppy disk. And you put that shit in when you were in computer lab. That was our favorite Sims. There was no restriction on what you could build. Now they added elements of like, well, you need funds for that. Well, fuck you, I'm not playing. I'm taking my computer and going home. Share your computer. No. I only play games my way. If you don't play them my way, we're not playing. Anyhow, what are we talking about still? Uncharted's rated T for teen? Because if they rated it M, it would cease being that Indiana Jones type adventure that would surely sell to the masses. PlayStation was real smart. Naughty Dog was extremely smart in keeping Uncharted and everything surrounding it rated on that T for teen level. There's guns, there's violence, there's pseudo-adult elements, okay? But it's all that laid-back, childlike combat, childlike, violence. Is violence really childlike? I mean, it's in there. It's rated T. It's not for kids. It's for older kids. It's gonna be, thoughts on GTA 6. We talked a little bit about GTA 6. We've done our review on it already because we know it'll be at least 8 or 9, 9.5, 9.8. We don't remember what we gave it exactly. GTA 6 is going to be phenomenal. There's no way that the boundaries of gaming are not going to be pushed in one way, shape, or form by this game. even if the boundaries of day one sales out the gate are the only aspect of stuff that changes in the gaming environment, surely GTA 6's release will have some effect on the gaming industry as a whole in the caliber of record-setting stuff. Okay, whether it's one of the best looking, whether it's one of the best received, whether it's one of the best selling, some aspect of it has got to win accolades somewhere, because the love and attention to detail we're feeling that the studio has shown and continues to show to its intellectual property inherently should be conveyed to the player base and the masses that partake in the playing of it. Now, if they do something like try and restrict the Grand Theft Auto 6 and be like, we really shouldn't make this game rated M. We could probably sell 2 million more copies if we drop it down to a T for teen rating. Like Star Wars Jedi stuff, right? T for teen. The game would still sell. The game would still set records. The game would not be the game. You take the rated M out, that inherently had better be on that box when it's released, because people know what they want to get from the company. And so Grand Theft Auto, in theory, will be delivering that adult-oriented experience for adults and mature audiences, and not children and teens. Unless they're 18 and they're a fucking adult. Or 17. What's the rules now? I don't know. The only game that can hold up against GTA 6 Battlefront 3 is where it's like they ever released that game, GTA 6 game. So, we like Battlefront 3. We really do. Battlefront 3 was one of our favorites, man. The campaign, we still have that one on PS3. We sold a big catalog of PS3 games. We kept that one, because that's one of our favorites. We remember drooling at the mouth, minus the drooling part, when we saw that first trailer release of that platoon combat and warfare and gameplay on stuff. It was phenomenal then. We enjoyed it. The destructive environments and everything. Hats off to Battlefield 3, man. We really enjoyed that one. That was back DICE in its glory, man. They botched some later releases, unfortunately, and really kind of pushed away some of that core gaming community. But, it's how it goes. They've, since got a little better. Oh, horrible. This shit got super cold. Only game compete with GTA 6, Grand Theft Mario World. Hey, that would absolutely compete, surely. In fact, they should have made that new Mario World, open world Mario World game exactly like that, where you can go, punch Donkey Kong in his face piece hole, knock him out of his cart, take that shit over, and then go drive over Toad or something. I don't know. Probably would have got us picking up a Switch 2 on day one. Grand Theft Mario World is crazy. Yeah. In that old Battlefront 1 and 2. Oh, man. I thought you said Battlefield. You talking about Battlefront, Battlefront, the Star Wars Battlefront. Oh, sorry, man. I thought you said Battlefield. Ironically, DICE made this too, didn't they? Fucking, hold on, not that one. Damn it, the Battlefront. I think DICE made that, yeah. So, Battlefield 3 is what we thought that you had said. I don't know, we're mistaken. But yeah, Battlefront 1, Battlefront 2, Star Wars. We wish there was a Battlefront 3 of Star Wars, and that they had done what they should have done with Battlefront 1 before they had to make a Battlefront 2, which was a shortcoming in all of it, man. Battlefront 3, they need to fix everything that they did with Battlefront 1 and 2. They fucked all that shit up, man. That's very unfortunate, because we love the original Battlefront games, man. Spent hours and hours and hours playing fucking Battlefront, man, back in the day. But yeah, we thought you said Battlefield 3 up yonder, but it don't matter, man. Fucking hell. Battlefront 3, yeah, compete with GTA 6. Well, it's going to be a different game, man. I'll bet it wouldn't. I'll bet a lot of stuff would not compete with GTA 6. GTA 6 is going to resonate right out of the gate in the single-player campaign. So for the first couple weeks, month or so that game's out, it's going to be pretty single-player game laden. You'll probably see a drop-off in massively online multiplayer arenas and things like that. Probably some player bases numbers will go down on bigger titles of games that would have a player base that would be interested in Grand Theft Auto 6, which presumably is pretty massive across a vast array of players. It'll probably be hard for any game, especially around release date, to compete with Grand Theft Auto 6, let alone be in a conversation to compete with Grand Theft Auto 6. Not that they wouldn't hold their own and be good games on their own, but you're talking about a megalith Goliath. That would be like if our stream was going right now and Asmon Gold stream were going right now. No one's watching this shit, man. Asmon Gold streams are way fucking better. Oh, well, I take that back. So if Asmon's Gold stream were going right now and his stream was watching this stream, then people would be watching it. But if they had the choice between Grand Theft Auto of the Asmon Gold and whatever the fuck this channel is, they're going to be rocking that Grand Theft Auto, and we don't blame them. That game is presumably going to be great, and Asmon of the Gold is pretty good at watching other people's content. We love watching him ourselves. Fucking hell. Dude's good. He's probably one of our best friends and doesn't know it yet. He's the type of person that probably would be one of our best friends, only he wouldn't know why. And it's because we just like wouldn't leave and would be around. And he probably wouldn't know how to deal with that. He'd be like, man, I don't think I like this guy, but I don't want to be rude to him. So then we just end up getting to stay. So, you know, celebrities of a feather, while his celebrityness is up there and ours is way down here. We are in the same category, are we not? Internet. Star Wars GTA game would be amazing. Fuck, that would be amazing. A Star Wars GTA game would be phenomenal. The Grand Theft Auto Mario would be phenomenal. There's so many iterations that franchises and intellectual properties could shape their new direction in to really, you know, garner a sustained following and a new following all alike. You might make a couple past fans upset. You know, if someone's like, I only like Mario platforming. Why does Donkey Kong keep kicking my ass and stealing my race car? Might be a problem with that for some of the community. But I guarantee you, that fucking 12-year-old Donkey Kong kid is like, haha, fuck you, Mario. My car, bitch. Boom. I'm go race. Go race Princess Peach and drive over Toad, motherfucker. You know, I don't know. However, Mario decides to make that game. He gets squished down, then pops back up. He doesn't get real life hurt because it's cartoony. Get rated T for teen. Grand Theft Mario. They have Grand Theft Mario. It's where Nintendo steals all your money and sells you cards without games on it. This is the best Mario that's come out in a while. Star Wars GTA, yep. Star Wars GTA would be fantastic. Having the ability to walk along the streets, man, and jump into a speeder bike or anything like that and willy-nilly shit. Think about, like, some sort of Star Wars online, like, well, not online necessarily, but a Star Wars GTA game that, like, planetary based, to where there was more than one planetary environment, to where if it was, you know, even relegated to a couple cities or even a city on a planet, like, looking at you, Starfield, what the fuck? Look at all these planets we got. You mean look at all these, like, broken-ass cities that you got parts of? That's not a new planet, motherfucker. That's fucking, that's ruinous debris with a moniker and an icon of some shit I gotta scan on it. Don't sell me a new fucking planet. Not a planet. Fucking Starfield. Jeez. Is that rated T for teen? They should have rated it M. Is it rated M? Maybe they should have rated it T for teen. Whatever that game did, they did it wrong. They should have gone the other direction. We don't care what it's rated. Oh, that's fucking horrible. Well, No matter how you chalk it up, how you look at it, ratings exist for one reason or another. And whether it's to inform folks of what they may or may not be getting into, or whether it's to point them in the direction of the content that they may or may not deem or find appropriate, they exist in one iota, shape, or form, and we gotta kind of accept that, or tell them to stop putting it on shit. And that would probably entail a lot of work and organization. So, if you're taking that on, let us know. So what I mean, different planets, yeah, bounty hunter or something, yeah, even as a Jedi or anything, but you're probably right on with the bounty hunter aspect of it and stuff, especially like with the Grand Theft Auto aspect, still in different ships. Jedi wouldn't necessarily do that unless they're badass Jedi. Fucking, you want to give me this car, motherfucker? Like, oh, yes, sir. Here you go. It's not a car, it's a hover car. I don't know, whatever. It would be awesome. But what isn't awesome is running out of coffee and not having any more. So, if you want to get out of here before us, now's your chance. Go ahead and dipset. Otherwise, we will entertain another question or so. Go ahead and interact with a shitty internet celebrity as you will. We're here for another minute, but we're out of coffee, so it's not a long minute. Type fast. Ah, yes, well, we see you're verklempt in knowing that it's near the draw of the end of the show. But, unfortunately, or fortunately, we're going to do something else now. We're bored of this. So we don't need your subscription, we need your money. Downvote the shit out of this and give us a buck. Get off our lawn!